Hello everybody, welcome back. It's your boy Mr. Green Hands. I'm here. I haven't given you updates in a while. This is November right now. I missed October because I forgot. It is what it is. But let me give you a quick update or show you what has been happening in my garden. And everything is looking quite green. Just green. It's beautiful. So let's give you an update of what's been happening since the last update of my garden. So I'm at the top bit of my garden right now of the allotment. Down there is the bottom part. So we're gonna start here where I had some corn and I had my callaloo. Let me take you over here and I'll show you as well what's been happening in here. So I had some cauliflower, some purple cauliflower. Once I've harvested the things that were in here, I've added it in this bed to keep the bed growing, and I've added some karabi, some purple karabi, as these are some young sucklings or saplings of onions. So I will have onions growing as well along with the mixture of other things. So I'm trying to do a lot more companion planting, and actually it's just to keep my bed active. Even though the corn is here, the stalks are there, I will cut them down later at the base and let it just continue to feed the microorganisms at the bottom, and then use these in my compost box, and that will be for next year. So you will decompose all the way down into compost, and then I can come out here and feed this soil. And it is getting cold. You would never believe this has been like this all day. It's been coldly, misty, and just dark and depressing. But one of the things that I love the most is actually coming out in the garden and making me feel way more alive than I am already. And I have to be grateful for that. So this is the other bed where I had my callaloo in. I have put some garlic in between and some onions as well. So I've stuck some onion and some karabi, and there's some mushrooms which are popping up because obviously the cold weather, dampy weather is here right now, so you will get mushrooms kind of coming around and showing up. You're not allowed to eat them. I would advise no one to eat them. And I have some extra cauliflower just hanging at the end here. I'm not sure they'll make it, but I'm not sure. I've planted out some of them already into other beds. This is the bed next to the other one. So I had some karabi stuck in there. This is kind of like a netted area, so to keep those birds. That is my sweet pepper that didn't make it because suddenly the temperature changes, and this is them. Look at the karabi, they're looking beautiful, they're strong and they're ready to go. And my garlic, this is a garlic plant just there, is starting to grow from my plant, and there's some more here going around the other side of the bed. And surprisingly, this pepper plant, they're actually hanging on. They will not make it. Look, it was about to blossom, but obviously with the weather changing right now, there won't be a chance for them to finish. And there's some garlic here as well. Look at that. I was hoping my lettuce would be a lot bigger than they are now. I've got 2 lettuce remaining in this bed here because I transplanted them out, and they are growing, but they're growing slowly, but that's fine. It is okay. My basil is near its end, and I have some greens I've stuck in there as well. Yeah, some kale, a variety of kale I've stuck in there, so they might turn out okay. That's just right there next to the bamboo stick that I used to hold up things in the garden. This is the other bed that I love the most. It's still super green. My nasturtium is doing well. I've got a couple of carrots stuck somewhere. I know this bit looks a bit empty, but if you look closely there, right there, that is a garlic popping its head out, ready to show me love. And I know the ground looks like it's filled with a lot of tiny little plants, but these are actually bok choy. I grabbed a handful of them and I threw them all over the place like a crazy person, and they're starting to sprout up all over the place. I'm trying to transplant as much as I possibly can, but I don't know where and how I'm going to do that, so I'm going to try to get them down. This is my sprouting broccoli. It has really come to life once I've removed all the other items that were around it. It's starting to show up, and they will survive the winter, hopefully, because they've been rooted in there for about a year, for a growing period of last maybe 6 months, from about say May, and they're still holding on and they're doing really well. Leeks, they don't go anywhere. Leeks are amazing. Leeks survive frost, freezing, winter, everything. They will survive anything that if you throw them there. It's just superb and great for your garden. I do have some brassicas in here and some variety of kale. I have some leafy Russian kale, but the green variety that's there, and they're in here with a lot of other things which I do need to transplant. And I do have a celery plant, but if you look at the leaves right there, it's starting to look like they need to come out soon before the frost hit them and they're kaput. But it's looking good. I love the fact that it's very green and very beautiful, and it's beautiful right here. And I do have rockets. Look at that. I have rockets. I'm gonna be harvesting them throughout the winter or the autumn period. Some of them have gone to flowering, that's fine, but a lot of them, the leaves is what I'm looking for, and they're still there. Do have a pungent taste. I still have my turnips here. I should have planted more around the garden, but I only kept them in one little small place. But that's okay. I can come and harvest them and use them for my soups, and that's the best thing about it. Even when it gets cold, you can still come out here and get food, and that is what I don't understand why people want to like leave their garden bare. Let your garden beds have something in it, or cover them completely with mulch and leave them for the next season, because once the carbon comes out of the ground, you're going to have to add that back to the garden through the process of fertilizing, and that is what I'm trying to minimize as much as possible. Let the soil keep feeding the soil so the soil can keep feeding itself. And in this bed here, I had some other things in it, but I transplanted some parsnips, and parsnips are super high tolerant of the weather right now. They can handle all the bad weathers, but I realized there's something has been jumping over here and scratching out that corner. Don't know why, don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fox, maybe some other thing like the squirrels, but I'm hoping it's nothing too serious that will affect the growth of these, and they're doing really well. You know, I transplanted them out, and I know they do say that you shouldn't transplant out parsnips, but I have in the last maybe 3 to 4 days, and they haven't died. Even though the weather is a bit cold and dampy, they are doing quite well. And that goes for this bed at the top here. Moving on to the bigger beds, which are doing fabulous as well, doing really well at this time of year. So this is the bigger one of my, this is the second biggest section of my allotment, which you find that I've had trouble in here with foxes. A year ago I lost all my onions, but this year they produced the best onions that I've ever had in my life. And I've kept this garden bed going with other things right now. Let me just show you what they are. So I have some purple cauliflower, not broccoli, some bok choy that I transplanted from over the section over there where I have millions of them, and they're here right now. There's one more carrot I did have. I harvested some carrots and gave them to someone here at the allotment, because we do try to give each other some stuff. It's one of the greatest things that we have here, but I still have quite a lot of carrots to harvest. I'm hoping to do harvest, and it was the biggest carrot I have ever harvested. I really wished I kept a photo of it so I can show you guys, but look, I don't know if you guys can see closely, but over there on the middle of the screen there is a carrot that's looking like it's going to be absolutely a giant. And once these guys are out, I will transplant some other stuff in it. I do have, this is a parsnips that's growing over here, so I don't mind with my cabbages. These are sweetheart variety of cabbage. They're young and they're starting to get the curls in, but obviously the slugs are still here pestering me and driving me over the century. But I will, next year I have a plan to buy a organic based item that you can spray into the soil, and they eat the slugs from in the ground, because they do have slugs in the ground. I know we see slugs climbing all the time, but slugs sometimes are in your garden soil, and sometimes you got to treat the soil with always using organic based things to make sure you're not having all that chemicals in your body when you consume the food as much as possible. I'm just trying to limit the amount of that. You know, I don't know, I'm not telling you exactly how to grow your stuff. You do you and I do me, but I find that growing it as naturally, as close to nature as possible, or naturally as possible, makes a massive difference in taste, flavor, and your soil. It does changes you as a person as well. So I have those carrots over the back there. These carrots are older, so they will be removed, but I do have a young lot here that will come up later on in the autumn period. I might not even remove all of them at once, just enough to, you know, eat at home, make a soup, or just eat it, generally speaking. So that will be amazing. My curly kale is doing fabulous. It's looking good. I've harvested some of these already, and there's more. So as kale goes on, you know, you harvest them, plant get bigger, you just keep harvesting, and they are super hard tolerant for the weather that I am in the UK, which is about 5B, and it's looking good because we do not really get that super cold times yet, but they do turn up later on down the year. This is a Russian variety of kale, and look at that, it's bigger leaves, and it looks like a cabbage, but it's not, it's actually a kale. And there's one more here. I will have to raise this off the ground a little bit to make them more taller, so once they get taller, or eventually I might actually take this completely off and let it just do its thing outside. But I kept the hoops here because if it gets too cold, I do have a frost blanket. Certain things are very, you know, if it gets really like -7, I will just get a frost blanket and cover them to kind of like prevent them from completely getting all that frost through their body and killing them. But kale, I have no worries for those. Onions, no worries. Garlic definitely don't need any coverage at all. They just super amazing. And looking on my feet down here, you're going to see all these little small plants. These are daikon seeds. I cut the plant down and just chucked it down here. I didn't do anything else but left it at the top. And look, there. This is a load of daikon, which is a Japanese radish, but very long and amazing in soups, or you can eat it raw. It's really tasty. It's amazing. And before I even move, I forgot to show you these beetroots that I have here. So I have a golden beetroot, a pinkish variety beetroot just there, and I have your regular, the red variety there. And I did have a white variety, but I don't think it's there, like a yellowy white one. But yeah, and they will be fine in the winter. And obviously I got some nettles, which are just seeds blown from somewhere else. Some nettles here, and I might remove them or I might not, because nettles are really amazing for your health. But I have so much nettles growing wild in the UK, I don't even know. So this is the other bed. I got beautiful kale left at the bottom. I harvest some from them as well, and I have some beetroot which is just gonna stay there, and I'm gonna take them when I need them. And garlic, gotta have your garlic because they do need that cold to produce the bulb. It's amazing. I do have garlic all over the place. Some of them are taking a gingery little time to make it in the garden, but they will be here eventually. But this is my cauliflower section. Purple cauliflower, the Romanesca green variety of cauliflower. And guys, I know they have these names on the packaging. I didn't sow green cauliflower. I didn't sow any. I had this all year round white variety of cauliflower. And when it started to put its head on of the cauliflower, I've just realized, like, holy crap, the packaging, the seeds are actually totally wrong. This can happen. It's a normal thing that happens sometimes, but don't take it personal. Sometimes this is how it is. It happens. You know, you can put the wrong seeds in the packaging when they're making them, because I definitely know I didn't sow no Romanesco this year. I wanted the white variety, which is more tolerant for the cold. The green one is fine because this is the time of year that you normally harvest your kohlrabis, your Romanesco kohlrabi, or your, why am I saying kohlrabis on my brain? Your cauliflowers, the Romanesco cauliflowers, or your basically your cauliflowers of other colors. They do tend to come this time of year here for us in the UK. I don't know what time for everybody else, but they tend to do really great this time of year when they put on their heads and you harvest them, and the leaves are all edible as well. So what I'm going to do next year is just to still grow similarities, to still do whatever the packet says, sow them, and hopefully by the grace of God next year I will have the white, the green, and the purple cauliflower. Look at that beautiful cauliflower. I'm hoping it does well. We are looking forward to eating that little bad girl there, and it's going to be tasty as well. Moving on to this other bed that I have next to the one that I have right here is a bundle of joy. I have collard greens from my boy, aka Broke Farmer. Thank you so much for those seeds. These are amazing. These are blessing. And I've literally just been throwing them out when I have them. I have a big bag that I harvest from the small amount of seeds that you sent me, and I can have collard greens growing in the UK. Look at that. It's beautiful. And it's getting bigger. Even though it's getting cold, I still have some young ones there which are struggling, but the bad boys are doing well. And I might actually put a frost blanket over here because they are a Georgia collard. I don't know if the frost is going to do any damage, but it might not, because I have one from last year on the other side of it there that is still surviving and it's still producing, even though I've removed the head of it. I thought it was going to die. But onto the other things. These are daikon. I sowed here purposely. I personally sowed these. I didn't, but these I did. It's okay. That's the garden. You just gotta keep your garden active and still in here. There's some baby onions underneath there. Don't ask me how, but they're there. Obviously, there's more baby greens. Some beautiful daikon that will handle the cold, no problem. Garlic. Some bok choy. Didn't sow those. They came back on their own. It's fine. That's food for me. And moving on, I've got the kohlrabis, which I'm going to leave the rest that are here. I might actually transplant one or two out of here and see how they do. I have them right next to a big garlic that I didn't harvest, but it's growing back. I didn't replant that one. That is growing back by itself. But it's okay. I don't mind. It's all about the process. Some baby carrots, which aren't reaching nowhere near. These are autumn kings. Right now, all the carrots that I have right now that I've been showing you so far are a variety of that can handle cold, which are autumn kings. And they're doing well. And there's some onions in the back here, which are gonna be fine because onions don't die. Onions come back to life no matter what. And I do have 2 bags of potatoes. I still haven't harvested them. Look at that. One little scratch, and I need to get them out, but I wanted to leave them till I'm ready. I might do it next video. Who knows? Yeah, I might do. Who knows? But look at that. That's beautiful. And there's more in there. Need to get them out. Moving along to the next section of my allotment, and almost the final section, guys. Don't you worry. There's plenty of few more things happening, and the soil is just beautiful. My nasturtium will not leave me alone. This is the biggest amount of nasturtium I've ever had. I've planted this plant once in my lifetime, and it's spread everywhere, and every year it comes back with more abundance. And I've transplanted so many out. I've destroyed so many, but it's still here. And I don't mind because they bring pollinators to my garden and defenders. You know, sometimes you gotta give a little bit to nature so you can enjoy the rest of it. And before I go any further, I called my garden center up, asked them what they have a deal because I wanted more thyme, with the th, the th, which is basically pronounced thyme, which is the herb or herb if you live in America. And this was £20, and normally they were £3 each. So this would have probably cost me 30 instead of costing me £20, and it was 5 for £10, which is an absolute bargain. But I know they're small, but it's okay because I'm gonna give these guys a long time to grow, which is I did for the other ones that I planted. You see that one here, which is the head chopped down, that was only a year old, and within a year it's actually triple or quadruple the size of this. So I'm gonna plant these around. I'm gonna add them along the garden because I do have 10 thyme planted here, and thyme is beautiful because we use it so much at home. I just had to get more. I just need to get more. Okay, on to showing you the garden bed. These are some carrots in here, which I'm going to harvest. There's some purple ones in here. There's some white, yellowy ones. There's some normal, standard, your orange color. You've got a purple. Look at that purple there, the deep reddish purple color. You've got a whitey, greeny color ones. And yeah, I can't wait to harvest them out. And it's all about variety. I've had more things in here, but I thought I was going to plant back the Chinese, but I changed my mind, and that can happen whenever you're a gardener. You could change your mind. It's fine. Just put something in. But I changed my mind, and then I added other things, which is, let me show you. I added some beetroot, some baby carrots, some really tiny carrots in here. I do need to do some weeding to get some of these not carrots out, which are the weeds. Just stop sucking the energy from it. I have my celery, which I need to harvest. A beautiful, that is a cauliflower that I've stuck in there. Why not? Stick it in there. And I have some garlic here growing back from last year, which I don't mind. As long as it's not grass, I don't really mind, especially coming up to this time of year. And it will give me food in the long term. So I forgot to show you the parsnips right there. These are parsnips. I have parsnips pretty much everywhere in the allotment. I don't know what I'm going to do with so much parsnips, but it's fine because they're super sweet, super amazing, and do well in the cold. So why not have them in the garden while you're there? This is my lesbian bunching onion, which is just getting bigger and better every year, and they are super tolerant for the cold. They will be fine once I've done a bit of clean out and added some mulch or add some absolutely amazing compost, which is my own compost that I grew, or not grew, what I mean by growing, which I actually did in the compost bin just right over there, and that would add health to it, and it will get it going for the next coming season. I would add some mulch around it, maybe some leaves that you guys see there. I'll be raking through that and removing some of the leaves and spreading them on top of the garden bed because it's all natural matter. This was my walkway into, which is wood chips, but every time the radishes just keep popping up. These are black radishes, and they are super tolerant to the cold, and they get really big. Like, let me just pull one out and show you. Really big, like super big, very big. So they're white inside. They have a hard outer shell. Looks like something different out of a weird situation, but it does get really dark. but it's amazing and it's strong flavored. Look at the size of that. And that's in wood chips. This is my okay. There's a lot of wood chips underneath here, and it's divided. But I'm not gonna take this one home with me. I'm gonna just chuck it down there, and eventually put it in my compost. This is some spinach I have there, and I have some spinach just there, which I do need to harvest and get them home to be eaten before I go. In here there is garlic, which are not showing their signs yet, but I have some bok choy, which are just getting annihilated by the slugs inside there. And I'm not too happy about it, but it's okay. Hopefully they can spring up, you know, later on down the year and do really well. I will have radish growing back up in here because radish don't die, it just grows everywhere. So I will have to kind of do some fine going through them and getting rid of them as much as possible before the growing season for next year starts. So moving on to the madness that I have created, even though I didn't want to. This is the mad area. So this is a sprouting broccoli, purple sprouting broccoli, which is the one that I showed you earlier in the year that died. I chopped it down. I thought it died, and it just kept. It came back up. Didn't want to go, and now it's giving me one beautiful leaves and a head of cauliflower. This is a sprouting broccoli, and look at this. You go through your thing and you find this. How upsetting! Get out of here. Slugs and stuff. This is crazy because we haven't got the frost yet, so they're still hanging around. Can't wait. I need to get the organic thing that I was suggesting. I can't remember. Maybe it's called nematodes or something to spray on here to reduce the amount. But this year in the UK we actually have had an infestation of slugs. There is some more. Look at this one. That is a black radish. Look how big it is, but it's getting too old, so I'm gonna leave it. There's time inside here. But I have a hell of a lot of all these little things that you see on the ground that you look like grass. This actually isn't grass. These are all parsnips. Because I did leave a few to go to seed. It's everywhere. When I mean everywhere because of the wind, it's everywhere. But next year, by the grace of God, I can actually manage it a lot better by removing them, you know, completely as and before they go to seed, just to save me and my headache of gardening. But it's okay. Sometimes with madness, there's come joy. There's some carrots in here. They're not already be ready yet, but they're going to be ready somewhere down in the later time of the year. And I took one of them from here and gave it to someone in the soil. Look at the soil. Look how beautiful. And London is mainly clay. I've been feeding this soil with so much amazing organic matter. It's just crumbling and beautiful. Look at that. Just beautiful. Got some leeks in there. Gotta have my leeks because when the time gets cold and rough, I can come and pop them out and use them to do my cooking. And yeah, and there's some parsnips growing back already in here. Look at that. Some parsnips. And I need to do a little tidying up in here just to get everything well. And I will probably remove some of the parsnips because there's quite a lot. Or some of them would naturally don't make it because if one is doing better than the other, then it will just go. These are some sprouting broccoli, which is fine for me. They will give me food later on in the year. But I have a ginormous broccoli, sprouting broccoli, that is doing. Well, I'll give you a little bit. See the leaves. Okay. That's my foot. Look at the size of this broccoli. The leaves are humongous. I can use this as like an umbrella if I stitch them all together. This is big. This is the biggest broccoli I have ever grown. And I looked earlier and I noticed, look guys, I noticed. If you see it, comment it in the comment section. You see it. Just right. You see it. Or I see it. This is beautiful. This is I hope by the grace of God, it's a humongous head of cauliflower. This is a sprouted variety, but there's a big head that's coming up here. These are the side sprouts. They're gonna give me some broccoli, so I'm looking forward to it. Look at that. That is gonna be a ginormous thing. It's gonna be amazing. Now this is why I love gardening. I love what I do. This is the cauliflower I was mentioning to you guys earlier. This hasn't died one bit. Everything in my garden, I don't know if you guys realize, even if I throw it down on the ground, it grows. My soil love everything that I do with it, and it just keeps giving. The slugs are eating a lot of these. Look, you see, this is what I hate. This is my nemesis, the slugs. Just get out of here, man. I gotta reduce the population then next year. I have to, or else my gray hairs are gonna get grayer. Might even get gray that it'll turn into white, but it's okay. I know you have to give something back to nature, and it's fine, but I ain't gonna lie, I have actually eaten good. I have eaten good. this year from the garden. So I can't complain too much. I'm battling, but I'm winning in the long term. But these are my boxes that I had my pumpkin. The pumpkins are dried. I do need to do some major cleanup over here and feeding back the soil and removing all these stuff and adding to my compost and get my composting going. Look out for that video, that's going to be coming soon. And my ginger that didn't do well, I don't even know if there's anything underneath it. The ginger is there. I will have to take them out soon. This is my potato you know the potato video that I dropped. I replanted the potatoes, but they dry down again, and some of them are looking like they want to come back up. Look, excuse me, look, this is a potato trying to grow back right now. I don't even know if I want to dig it, but I will have to. I'm gonna go because I need food, so I might leave it or I might cover it down, and anytime I need something I'll come and dig it. But it's fine, that's okay. This is my amazing section that I have. This is the last section that I have on this big part of the allotment. Is sweetheart cabbage. There's a beautiful one there. You need to harvest some amazing cauliflower there. They're a little bit behind those ones because I planted those ones earlier than these ones, so these will come later. So I'll hopefully, while I'm eating those, these are reproducing, and then I can have something to eat. Some amazing carrots. I have to love my companionship with planting, just planting different varieties. So I have my cauliflower there, my brassica, another brassica, which is the sweetheart cabbages, and there is my carrots in there, my beetroot is there, parsnips all over the gaff, and I literally have, if you look there, those are collard greens, guys. Collard greens down the side there. I am truly amazing. Or should I say my soil is truly amazing, because the soil is what I've been feeding and it's producing food. What I need to do is plant the stuff. So hey, nasturtium leaves, come on, look how big. You know when your soil is doing the right thing and getting the right amount of things, the plant will have so much health in it. It will grow big things, and this is naturally done. I haven't done no fertilizer with no chemicals. Hell no, I don't believe in that rubbish. I just think in growing naturally, and you'll be so surprised that when you grow things naturally, the plants will tell you, and when it gives you something, sometimes it can get bigger than you expected within its time, not your time. The plant will do its own thing. You don't have any control in it. Okay, so when it's getting the right amount of things in the right amount of time, you'll be surprised sometimes how it can grow better than your conventional way of growing. Let me just step through all of these and get through to the other side. So these are the corn that I grew. They were amazing. Some of them cross-pollinated, so I'm learning while I'm going, and some of them were growing later than I expected. So I need to keep up with it. Which one is it better to plant first, so they will grow, in time, and harvest them in time, so they can be more matured. Which are the black ones that I had. They're beautiful, but they're amazing. And the plants, I want to cut them down to the base and chop it up, cover these garden beds, mulch it back with some wood, some other. I think I'm going to actually do straw on top of this one this year with some compost underneath, which is, I have 2 big bags of my own compost that I grow. This is a corn, but it's not going to make it. Very soft, it's not going to make it. And yeah, it's looking good. My other persimmon, this is my first persimmon, which I bought. This was 9 centimeter when I had it. I still have it. It's right here, and it's grown probably about 9 inches in the last 2 years since I've had it, and I've just been feeding it. I will need to add some mulch around the base, and I've actually been contemplating of removing it and put it in the ground, put it in the socket, so it might actually grow even 10 times bigger than this next year. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. We're just gonna have to wait and see what my decision is in the long term. And I love persimmon. This is a Japanese kake persimmon, and it's beautiful, and it's cold tolerant as well, because this is the time of year when normally they actually give, when they're fruiting, they start to ripe this time of year in the autumn. And this is my mint. I do need to pay attention to this mint. I have neglected them, and yeah, it is what it is. But let's wait and see. My pomegranate grew a lot bigger this year. Now all the leaves are done. I'm gonna have to feed it as well, because they are in pots. I will have to feed it a little bit more. But I have been neglecting these pots, I'm not going to lie to you. I have been not paying attention to them too much. And my amazing bitter lemon right there. And yeah, it needs some TLC. I will definitely get a bigger pot for that. I might up-pot it this year, or this season in the cold time now. Get a bigger pot, feed it up, and let it get bigger, and maybe it will produce some fruit. It hasn't produced any fruits. I think I've had it for about 2 years now. No fruits yet, but we're gonna wait and see. We're gonna try to change that. My strawberry bed is overloaded with strawberries. I might have to get rid of some of these. There's too much in here, so it's gonna get standard, but it's gonna get all over the place anyway. So the strawberries are deciding to grow outside. Is leaving the garden box that I have them in and growing in the pathway, which is fine. I don't mind because I don't really come this side too much. I don't mind it taking over the whole place. It's fine and do its thing. But I do need to feed this bed. This is my amazing lemon balm. It still has leaves on it, and it's amazing. It's great with teas and great smell as well. It's more powerful than your mint, and it is in the same family. I do have an oregano one underneath there, buried, and it does not die. That doesn't die. Look at that. It's not dying anytime soon. Look at this. My thyme. I gotta spend some time to clean it up. And I did a major thing as well, which is to drop a hell of a lot of wood chips in my walkway to make it look more neater and be able to access the sides. And I've been doing some work over here trying to get rid of that, the brambles, which are just suffocating my side of my fence. So I'm going to remove this. And lastly is my raspberry is doing quite well. Oh, I forgot the gooseberry. It's right here. I need to move it because it's really getting constricted by the fence. So I'm tempted to get out the root, but I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. But I might just leave it there and let it take over this whole section here. Why not? Food. It's food. And that is from me, your boy, Mr. Green Hands. It's not really, I thought it was going to be quick, but it's not a quick update because there's a lot to show. And yeah, it's me, Mr. Green Hands. I'm just trying to give you guys a quick update of what I'm doing and what I'm going to be doing in the future. And as always, please don't forget to take care of the planet because we just have to. See you guys soon.